Hey there, gearheads. Ever wondered how to keep your machinery running smoother than a buttered-up otter? Well, you're in the right place. Today we're diving into the nitty-gritty of grease and lubrication, because let's face it, nobody likes a squeaky wheel, right? We're talking about making sure your equipment hums like a well-oiled machine, literally, and lasts longer than a fruitcake at a holiday party. So, buckle up, grab your safety glasses and get ready to get greasy. Let's get started. Before you even think about grabbing that grease gun, we need to talk about your equipment. Just like you wouldn't put diesel in a sports car, you can't just use any old grease on any old machine. Different bearings have different appetites, and we need to make sure we're feeding them the good stuff. That's where your equipment manual comes in. It'll tell you exactly what type of grease your equipment needs, how much it needs, and how often it needs a little snack. Now, I know what you're thinking. Mark, do I really have to read the manual? And the answer is yes. It's like trying to bake a cake without following the recipe. So do yourself a favor and spend a few minutes with that manual. Your equipment will thank you for it in the long run. All right, now that we've got the right type of grease, let's talk about quantity. Too little, and your equipment will be starving for lubrication. Too much, and you'll end up with a greasy mess. We need to find that Goldilocks zone, just the right amount. Luckily, there's a handy-dandy formula to help us out. Grease quantity, Oz, equals 0.114 times D times B, where D is the bearing's outer diameter and B is the bearing's width. Think of it like this: the bigger the bearing, the more grease it needs. Makes sense, right? Now, this formula is a great starting point, but you might need to adjust it based on your specific equipment and operating conditions. Here's the thing about machinery: it doesn't live in a vacuum. It's out there in the real world, battling the elements, working its tail off. And those operating conditions play a huge role in how often you need to grease the darn thing. Think about it. A bearing spinning at high speed is going to need more frequent lubrication than one just chilling out at a leisurely pace. Same goes for heavy loads, high temperatures and dirty environments. So, how do you factor all this in? Well, it takes a little bit of observation and a little bit of experience. Start with the recommended lubrication frequency in your trusty manual, and then adjust based on what you see and hear. Is your equipment running hotter than usual? You might need to grease it more often. Is it making strange noises? Time to investigate? All right, I promised you another formula, so here it is. Hours equals 14 million divided by RPM times bearing diameter. This bad boy will give you a good estimate of how many operating hours you can squeeze out between lubrication sessions. Now, before you start plugging in numbers, remember that this is just a guideline. Think of it like a dance. You need to find the right rhythm for your lubrication routine. Start with the formula, observe your equipment, and adjust your steps accordingly. And remember, when in doubt, consult your equipment manual or a lubrication specialist. Okay, let's talk about automation, baby. For those critical applications where precision is key, automatic lubricators are like having your own personal grease monkeys on the job 24/7. These little gadgets dispense just the right amount of grease at regular intervals, so you don't have to lift a finger. Now, automatic lubricators aren't for every application, but they can be a lifesaver for hard-to-reach or critical components. So, if you're looking for a way to take your lubrication game to the next level, automatic lubricators might just be the answer. Congratulations, you've made it to the final level of lubrication mastery. But the journey doesn't end here. Like any good scientist or engineer, you need to keep track of your experiments, or in this case, your lubrication activities. Record the type of grease you used, the quantity, the date, and any observations you made. This will help you track performance over time and make adjustments as needed. Remember, lubrication isn't a one-size-fits-all solution, so keep experimenting, keep learning, and most importantly, keep that equipment running like a well-oiled machine. And there you have it, folks. With these tips, your equipment will be running smoother than ever. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more awesome content. We've got a whole bunch of exciting projects and experiments coming your way, so stay tuned. Until next time, keep it greasy.